Welcome back to the show, and right now we're moving on to our health feature. Now, you know how people tell you there's good bacteria and there's bad bacteria?
Yep, Joe, but really, even good bacteria makes you feel ill. Case in point, you've been ill for the past few days.
That's true, and the way I've been feeling, I'd better have built up one hell of an immune system.
Now, you just might, Joe, because the truth is our body needs bacteria in order to survive. Trillions of good bacteria and bad bacteria can be found in the gastrointestinal system, and they help strengthen the immune system from harmful microorganisms that causes infections and diseases.
Yep, and to tell us more about how friendly bacteria in the tummy can benefit a child's immunity, we have with us the National Heart Institute's Chief Dietitian, Mary Esau John. Welcome to the show, Mary.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Now, I guess let's first of all start by talking about the largest and most important immune organ for a child. Which one would that be?
That would be the gut, the intestine.
Definitely the gut.
Right, it's definitely the largest organ, but of course it's supported by other organs like the spleen and others to just support it, but the biggest immune organ in the body is the gut.
Okay, so we often hear bacteria as you rule bad for health, but what are some of the friendly bacteria? What are their roles in terms of our immune system?
Okay, I think when we were young kids, remember our parents used to say, eat your vegetables, eat your fruits.
Oh yeah.
He still
Have
do.
you? Yeah. And I remember all those things that I had to take.
Right.
But now I say, it is such a good thing that they did to us.
Right.
The whole body system, where the immune system is concentrated, is a garden. Let's take it this way so people can understand.
Imagine it's a garden.
So it's a big garden, and it's got lovely flowers, and it's also got weeds.
Okay, right.
So what he's saying is it's got good bacteria and the bad bacteria. So the bad guys are the weeds, right? Normally, if your immunity is good, they help each other, they keep quiet, they don't disturb.
Right.
That's how it works. But the moment something goes haywire in the ecosystem, that's where you fall sick, like you were telling me you were not too well, right? However, we are so exposed to all these bacteria, right now sitting here we're exposed to, right? And
Oh
then,
yes, I tell that to my boss every time.
You do?
It's infectious here.
And then,
Lots of bacteria.
you hold railings, children do this, children play with each other, children, do this kind of habits and all this. But this is where they acquire. See, the body system has got a military force law. That's where it's an immune system.
Right.
And they are built very well. The day the child is born, normally when the mother breastfeeds, the system is naturally acquired.
Right.
So that is where you get the good bacteria plus the naughty guys. They are there.
So let's talk a little bit about some of the benefits of good bacteria.
Okay. Now, as I told you, there's a defense system, number one. In the first 6 months, when the child is fed on milk, what happens is the lactose in the body is there. The lactose is actually the food for the good bacteria.
Right.
I see.
Okay? So the first 6 months, everything is good and nice. Then comes the next 6 months. Because the child cannot be on milk forever. So we'll have to change the diet. So when we change the diet, we will add solid foods. Like some mothers put porridge, some mothers put ready-to-eat cereals, and things like that. Then comes the new garden.
Right.
From the garden that was with milk, now the new garden comes, hey, what's this, man? Cereal things.
Right.
For example, it's just like the Navy, Army and Air Force. Where you are attacked, you have to start strategizing. The same thing happens inside there.
Right.
So the whole system will start changing to adapt to the new food.
Right.
And what happens is the antibodies will come down. Because breast milk and other milk will come down, and what they'll do is they'll have more solid food. Thing is, hygiene and proper preparation is important during this time, which most mothers think they prepare clean, healthy, but they'll always ask the question, who prepares the baby's food? Okay? And how is it transported? Right? And where do you send it? Then what happens? Then the child starts crawling. Right? When the child crawls, they pick up things, put it into their mouth.
Everything goes in the mouth.
Oh yes.
And I think the hands are so chubby, so delicious at that time, right? The other one is they also have what you call things like sending to the babysitter, sending to the nursery. So they mix with a lot of other children. And then what will happen is they start getting into problems.
Yeah, and they pick up other germs as
Other
well.
germs and all those things. And they also have another group where the parents are extremely clean. The sterile group, you know.
Which is not
That can be-
necessarily good for
Yeah,
your
it can
child,
be
right?
detrimental to
Yes,
their development,
which is
right?
very bad because they are so sterile that they can't even, you know, the moment one little
Yeah.
germ attack them, they are just admitted.
They have no immune system
Yes.
defense.
So why you have to build this immune system is to make sure that the kids don't fall sick all the time.
Yeah.
Then they lose school days,
Yeah.
right? Then the mother has to go to the hospital,
Yeah.
and the mother has to look after the child and the
Yeah.
whole scenario.
We know how the whole works there.
Tell me, I'm a mother. I know.
Okay, so I mean, how besides eating your vegetables, how else can
You build your child's immune system.
Build immune system.
Okay, there are different ways to do that. Number one is, okay, when you start weaning, make sure that the fruits and vegetable is a part of the diet of the child.
Okay.
Then you try it. Now, the biggest problem in the Malaysian history of kids
Right.
is fruits and vegetables.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fruits, they don't mind because it's a little bit of sweet.
yeah.
So some of the mothers ask me, what went wrong? I said, what went wrong with us is, I notice that when they start weaning, they start off with porridge and all these bulk carbs. I'm not
Yeah.
saying they're bad,
Yeah, yeah.
but the vegetable is like drawn, like few drops.
Yeah,
in-
and it's very much minced into,
Yes, so
because
they
you trick us
can't-
into eating it.
So they can't acquire the taste. For a kid to understand that this is a carrot, you need to give the food 20, 30 times, you know. Then they know it's carrots. And many mothers say, my kids don't like vegetables.
Yeah.
Reason? The first time I put it in the mouth, it comes out. So that is the other.
Is it a good way? I know some parents, like my sister, they use the strategy of going with colorful
Colour
fruits
veg.
because kids are attracted to color,
Like carrots, for example.
carrots and tomatoes,
cucumber.
and peppers or even peppers.
It's good. It's a
Is it
good
good
method.
strategy.
Yes. Mothers have to be very different from 20 years ago.
They have to be quite creative,
Yeah,
yeah.
they have to be creative and they have to have a game with the children, and things like that.
So, okay, so that's introducing good bacteria into the gastrointestinal system. But what actually kills good bacteria?
Oh, there's a lot of things that kills the bacteria. First, I told you the change of the diet,
Yes.
that one. The other part is also the use of antibiotics.
Oh, yes.
When kids are introduced to antibiotics at a pretty early age due to some illness,
Sickness,
then that will kill both the good and the bad
And the bad,
bacteria.
yeah, that's
you
true.
know, and it becomes like, no armed force, no nobody to defend.
Defenseless.
So
Yeah.
actually, antibiotics, at least a lot of people tell me, is that antibiotics should be the last resort.
Resort.
Yeah, you should
You
let
see,
them go with it.
the body actually will be able to
Heal itself,
heal
yeah.
itself
Yeah.
depending on what you have, right?
yeah.
But cough, cold, I remember all my friends will say, oh, cough and cold, take to the doctor, cough and... But it gives you time to the body to
Usually
naturally...
bacteria ones are usually
yeah.
easier to
Easier,
recover, right?
yes.
The viral ones are the
Harder
ones.
ones.
when you,
Right.
Hit it with the antibiotics.
And then the other thing is, what you call is this, the type of delivery is also important in immunity of the kids.
Right.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Right.
So if you have a Caesar baby, cesarean,
Yeah.
it's a very sterile condition where you bring up the child. You
Right,
take up the
okay,
child.
yeah.
It's a very sterile condition.
Okay.
But if the child is born in the natural way, where it goes through the vaginal
Yeah.
canal, then the child will acquire all those fluids.
Okay.
Which has immunity.
Right,
So that is why we always tell the mothers with C-section, please immediately breastfeed your kids to build up the
Immune system.
immune system.
Okay.
All right.
So just finally, unfortunately, we have to quickly wrap this up. But what, just a few things parents should pay close attention to in order to strengthen their child's immune system.
Okay. One, hand washing.
Yeah.
Very important. Even kids, you must teach proper, not just under the water and take it out. That's not the way, Proper hand washing.
Yeah.
Number two, immunization. Whatever immunization you need to give it to the kids.
Yeah.
The other thing is, continue the child's diet in like fermented products, like yogurt, certain yogurts.
You need the culture. for
Yeah,
it,
the
right?
culture, certain cultured drinks and growing up milk, right? The other two things which most of the parents sometimes is sleep. Sleep is important
Yes.
Oh, my, yeah.
for the body to recover.
And we know Malaysian parents love to keep their kids awake.
Yes.
Or just allow them to keep
Or
stay
go on,
awake.
so then, and physically active.
Yeah.
But one other thing is the diet. Nutrition plays an important role because you have to give the proper menu,
Right.
And that comes from the food.
Yeah,
So lots of fruits and vegetable and whole grain, and that will build up the nutrients
Right.
for the body.
Okay.
Right.
Well, those are some of the things that, of course, our chief dietitian here has
Nash.
already mentioned about.
Yes,
So
in fact, you
take
can
note.
actually hear more from Mary Esau John at the inaugural Community Weeks How and Why series, which is being presented by NANGROW 3, being held from the 29th of July to the 6th of August 2011.
Yes, the campaign aims to educate parents of the importance of strong immune system and the best practices for strengthening a child's natural defense system.
Yes, you can catch her at the 7th Parenthood Expo happening at the Mid-Valley Exhibition Centre from, again, the 29th of July till the 31st of August. So the 31st of July, sorry.
Yeah, so on the screen right now you can see some of the times and for the 3 days and when these will kick off. Log on to www.greattummy.com.my for roadshow details and information on Immunity Week.
Yes, and here's the good stuff. The first 10 to register online will receive a free nutrition and growth assessment for your child from participating hospitals.
Yes, and also the first 70 participants who attend the forum will walk away with a free goodie bag.